So the video question was asked by, or it was on Transbydef, and the question was, what does it feel like to be transgender? So I wanted to answer that my own way. It feels like when you're sitting on a toilet and your stomach's killing you and you're asking yourself, oh God, when is this going to be over? It feels like you're telling somebody the truth, but they don't believe you because they don't trust in you. They don't think that you're making the right decision by doing a transition. It feels like you're losing your life because your wife leaves you, or because your family leaves you, because your father is telling you that you are evil, and then your brothers and sisters are no longer inviting you to family get-togethers and evenings. So, all of those evenings where they're just hanging out and being together. It feels lonely. It feels a lot of times like you have no hope. It feels like the endless struggle of, will I ever pass? Will I ever be fully happy with the transition and through genital reassignment surgery if I go through it? Will I be able to adjust to my woman's body in a natural way, even though it's so unnatural doing it through surgeries? Women get to adjust to their bodies naturally because they're born with a woman's body. We instead have to go through a surgery that's extremely painful, and you have to do dilations and all kinds of crazy crap just to be yourself, just to end up with a vagina that will never push out a little baby. You will never have a womb that carries a beautiful baby. You never get to feel the kicks, the heartbeat. You never get to feel that child inside of you grow and feel that connection and that sacrifice that comes with being a woman. So that feels really incredibly crappy. It feels crappy feeling like you were in a prison for 30, 40, 50 years, however long it took you to transition. It feels crappy being in that prison and feeling like you've been a liar your whole life because you haven't been able to be yourself. You've had to hide who you are. You feel like somebody who's actually hidden who they are and not been honest about who they are because they can't handle it, because society can't handle it, because religion can't handle it, because people in general will shun you and throw you out. And you don't want to be an outcast. Who wants to be an outcast? But you feel like one anyways. It makes you feel like you don't fit in with the guys or the women because you're kind of in this in-between world. And then when you're actually doing a transition and starting to become yourself, you feel like people are making you out in public. They're seeing you for, instead of a woman, they're seeing you for some freak. And that feels really horrible. It makes you feel empty inside. It makes you feel sad. It makes you feel like there's no hope at times. This is why our suicide rate is between 30 and 50%. And then we're scared of our lives being taken from us. Consider that, because there's a lot of gay bashing, but there's even more tranny bashing. There's more tranny murders than any other murder in the United States, according to the information I've been given. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know that it's very high. And then we have the whole problem of us just having a high suicide rate in general. Remember, our suicide rate is incredibly high because this is crappy. And I mentioned that twice because it is crappy. Suicide rate is incredibly high with us. It's not incredibly high because this is wonderful being trans and it feels amazing. It's high because it feels horrible. I've had a lot of people come up to me and ask me very awkward questions, which makes me feel horrible. They ask me if I've ever had genital reassignment surgery, as if it's any of their business, when the truth is it really isn't their business. And the reason why I say that is because it's really not. It's my genitals we're talking about. What I do with my genitals is none of your business. I don't come up to you and ask you about, hey, how is your penis doing today? Or, hey, is your vagina smelling nice? I never do any of those things to you, but yet people ask me very personal questions about how I've configured my genitalia. It's none of your business. It should be enough for you to know that I'm a woman. Please speak to me as such, because no woman would ever be approached about that and asked those questions. So please treat me like one. For those of you who don't know what it's like to be trans because you're not trans and you're watching this video, treat us nice, treat us with respect, treat us with the dignity that we deserve because we're human beings and we're women who've gone through a very unfortunate event in our life. We developed as something we should have never been. We developed with a man's body, but a woman. And because it's such a fucked situation, because it's so screwy, we need your support, we need your help, we need your love. So many people call us evil. Remember, my father called me evil. My own father who should love me and adore me and support me through this, but he does not. He called me evil. And I can't say that enough. Evil. How do you call your child evil? It's ridiculous. It feels crappy because you feel like you're judged. It feels crappy because you feel like you can't get out of this horrible world without being completely scarred because you're trans. Let me tell you, it's a struggle. What does it feel like to be trans? There's endless sums of answers to that by different trans girls because each of us have had our own unique and very different experiences. But let me tell you mine. Being transgender overall really sucks.